And I believe that I have a pretty good, you know, as far as how many power banks and things I use, and I have them scattered everywhere else throughout my apartment. So, and this one. So I think I have a pretty good idea of which battery bank might suit my needs the most, and possibly even yours. What's going on, YouTube? This is What Would Josh Do, and this is a brand new video on a product that's new, but not brand spanking new. This is the Anker 335. For those of you that watch my videos, you know that the PowerCore Essential PD 18-watt 20K has been my main go-to charger for a couple of years now since it released. And recently it has been the Anker 535 because it does 30 watts output versus 18 watts output. And if I need to charge two things, I can because it's got two USB-C ports. But this, I think, is a replacement to this battery here. It has a very similar appearance to this guy right here, except this is a honking, gigantic Anker 347. So let's stop all that and let's get right to the unboxing. This is the A1288. Sometimes there's little revisions and changes to things. Just like this guy. I make videos of a lot of Anker batteries. I know, I get it. But some of those videos have hundreds of thousands of views, like this one here. I did not know they upgraded this one from an 18 watt to a 25 watt. And yes, this is something that has been used every day since that video, and it still works great. And it's my wife's battery. 4 bars, completely full. It's the PowerCore Redux, but this is the 18 watt. Again, they made a 25 watt. So small, tiny little revisions. That's why I like to point out this is A1288. This is the Anker 335 power bank PowerCore 20K. So let's get right to the unboxing. I don't know if this is the first time you've watched one of my videos. If you're brand new to the channel, welcome. In here we get the battery, which is, wow, that is a lot heavier than the other one. Let's take a look at that. I do have a scale next to me. Wow, that is really nice, actually. Holy cow. And they give you a USB-A to USB-C. Products come and go. A lot of the videos I've posted over the years, that product's no longer buyable. You cannot, nobody sells it. And instructions are really hard to find. And I've noticed that a lot of beginners watch my videos. So I want to go ahead and include all the information I can. Make this as detailed as possible. And also, these instructions you might lose. So I want to start including them in videos for the most part. So this is the user manual right here. When you press the button, there's 4 lights. Right now, it's showing me 2 of them are lit up. So my battery is anywhere between 25 and 50% charged. You can use the USB ports to charge up all of your devices. And you want to recharge this battery bank using that Type-C port. This is an Anker Nano 3 30-watt adapter. They're about $22. You can get them for $18 sometimes. I highly recommend buying one of these. I will try to remember to link to it in the description below. If I forget, just yell at me. It happens. And then you're going to use a USB-C cable. And you're going to plug it into the port on here. And that's how you're going to charge this battery bank from empty to full. Now let's do the satisfying peel. Oh, yeah. Comes a little pull tab here. So when this came out, they also released a slim version of this. So it was longer. It was 10,000 milliamp hours. I don't know where that battery is. I have not been able to find it. And that's also another example because the video I did was on an 18 watt. They then released a newer version, which was a 20 watt of the slim 10K. So you'll definitely want to go for the 20 watts versus 18. But anyways, back to this guy right here. So you'll want to enter the trickle charging mode by double tapping that, and you'll see a little green light as well as the other lights. And what that'll allow you to do is plug up a cable into your earbuds, and the little light turned red. This thing is currently charging, and that's what you'll want to use that for. And then we can plug up the USB-A to C, and we can also charge our Pixel Buds. So that's going to be the slow charging mode that you'll want to use for little sensitive things like game controllers or something. And to exit, you just press it once and it turns it to normal mode. See, this diagram shows you that it's good for charging up earbuds or things that are sensitive to that. And you'll press it once to exit. And then there's all the information on the battery. So you'll see the capacity is going to be 20,000 milliamp hours. The USB-C input can do 5 volts, 3 amps. So that's going to be 15 watts. Or it can do 9 volts, 2 amps, which is going to be 18 watts. The USB-C out can do up to 9 volts at 2.22 amps. And the USB-A output can do up to 12 volts, 1.5 amps. Total output being 5 volts, 3.6 amps. That's across all 3 ports. So you can charge 3 things at one time, albeit it's going to be at a slower rate. So just keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to demonstrate charging the device. So we're going to plug in our USB-C power delivery, and then we're going to go ahead and plug in the USB-C port. And this being a 30-watt charger, it's going to be able to charge this at its max capable speed, which should be 18 watts. Nice. We can also verify that by using a little watt meter here and seeing that it's doing almost 9 volts at almost 2 amps. That's going to fluctuate as the battery gets full, depending on how empty it is. It's going to charge faster when it's empty versus when it's almost full, it's going to slow down, just like your phone. Anker states it should take about 6 hours to fully charge this battery up from empty. If you plan on taking this for traveling, you probably care about how much weight it adds. So we're looking at a pretty hefty little 479 grams. So this is definitely one of the more heavier batteries out there. To put that into perspective, this is also a 20,000 milliamp hour battery with a 30 watt versus a 20 watt output and input. So this input's at 30 watts, this input's at 18 watts. So that one actually weighs less. That's very interesting. I don't know why. The specs on this guy, this is the Anker 335 power bank. I'll let you pause that and read it for yourself. My old main battery is 344 grams, and this is the PowerCore 10K wireless. So this is about the same size as the Slim, but it's only going to give you 10,000 milliamp hours. It's only going to give you 2 ports, but it weighs 244 grams. And just for giggles, this guy right here weighs 931. The nice thing about having as many power banks as I do is I can hopefully help you make the best decision possible. That way you can choose the power bank that fits your needs the most. So I don't know why this one weighs more. Literally 481 versus 353. That is 100 more. That is more than 100 more. They're both 20,000 milliamp hours. Again, this is the Anker 535. This is the Anker 335. They're both 20,000 milliamp hours, which is 74 watt hours. Anyways, I played a whole bunch on my phone because I wanted to lower the battery. This is a 1-foot Anker Type-C to Lightning. You're going to want to get this cable right here or something like this. Something that has Type-C on one end and the Lightning on the other if you have an iPhone that uses a Lightning port, because eventually they're not going to be able to put Lightning ports on iPhones anymore because of the new Type-C law that's taking effect in some countries. All right, so we're going to plug in our phone, and since it's at 14%, it's going to charge very fast. It should charge up to 20 watts right now. And would you look at that? Freaking 9 volts at 2 amps, almost 20 watts. So my iPhone 12 Pro Max is charging at the fastest speed possible with this power bank right here. Now, if you were to opt in for this guy, which weighs quite a bit less, you'll see that we are at the 22 range. Sometimes up to 25 is what I've seen, depending on if the battery's fully depleted or not. And also the device. So if you have the newest iPhone, you'll be able to charge it a little bit faster than you can the older iPhone that I have. This is a different watt meter because I needed to access those USB ports because I want to show you what happens with multi-device charging. All right, so let's take this and let's plug it into our Pixel 7 Pro here. And you can see that now that we've connected another device, this has slowed down significantly. Now it's going at 12 watts, which is okay, that's fine. And if you're in a situation where you need to have a couple different things charging, then you probably don't care if it's charging at its fastest speed possible. All right, so let's go ahead and add some AirPods to the mix here. So now we're charging up 3 things. The little red light came on. All right, so let's plug up the phone again. I have some meters hooked up to see exactly what's going on with that USB port. since we have this telling us what's going on. And there we go. Now, so the phone has slowed down significantly. This still says that it's charging. It's charging at 12 watts still, which is great. These are almost full, so it's going to charge at a very slow speed. It's going at 5 volts and just barely anything. Now, on the other hand, the Pixel 7 Pro is going at 1 amp and 5 volts. So it is getting a slow charge. When we only use the USB-A port, we can see that we're going at 5 volts and 1 amp, and this is charging at about the same speed. So you'll want to use USB-C to USB-C whenever possible. And I would only use the USB-A ports to charge up your earbuds or a game controller or something slower. Unless you have an older device that doesn't support power delivery or quick charge or anything like that that's fancy. Because we will eventually charge this battery, but it's going to take it a while. There you go, 1.3 and 5. To put that into perspective, now we're going to use the USB-C port, which is going to charge our Pixel 7 Pro. It's going to say charging rapidly down here. Right there, it says it. Now we're going to use the USB-C cable to USB-C, and we're going to see just how fast this 20-watt charger can charge up our Pixel 7 Pro. And as you can see, that is jumping up to 37, which is a very good number. And we can see here that it's doing 9 volts at 2 amps, pushing out 20 watts. So this is a very capable battery bank. And see, we're in the 37s. The fact that you're about to spend money on this battery bank, let's see if this other one is worth it to you. So this is a Pixel 7 Pro, battery's at 30%, so it's going to charge at a pretty fast speed. And we can see that it jumped to 9 volts, and we are slowly climbing. So we've got 2.5 amps almost at 9 volts, about 23 watts. And look at that. So now we're in the 4400 range. So this phone's going to charge even faster now. And the benefit of this one over that one is it has 2 USB-C ports. And since it can do 30 watts versus 20 watts, if you were to use both of those USB-C ports, this phone would get 15 watts. And this phone would also get 15 watts, which isn't that much less than the 20. But this one can only do one single port at 20. Once you start adding in other things, we saw that it lowered it down to 12 watts, and it gave the rest to the USB-A ports. So are you leaning more towards the Anker 335 or the Anker 535? Definitely let me know in the comments below. And somebody's going to ask, so let's try it. It is a good question. So we're going to plug in the phone using the USB-A port since we have to use the USB-C port to charge. And then we're going to plug in USB-C, and we're going to plug it into the input, and it said power disconnected. So you cannot charge the battery bank and charge your phone at the same time. And there we go, we're charging it at almost 20 watts. For my money, I would personally go with this one because it weighs less, it has the same watt hours, the same milliamp hours. It has 2 USB-C. I care more about how many USB-C ports it has than USB-A because I'm only going to use USB-A to charge up slow things like this. And once you add USB-A to the equation, it slows down the USB-C. So I would definitely go with this one over this one. And I believe that I have a pretty good, as far as how many power banks and things I use. And I do have some power banks in my daughter's backpack as well, just in case her phone dies and she needs to call for help. I do have some in there as well, and I have them scattered everywhere else throughout my apartment. So then of course this one, which is the one I just did, that's a laptop battery charger. So I think I have a pretty good idea of which battery bank might suit my needs the most, and possibly even yours. Again, this isn't all of them. I have them literally everywhere. Little Anker thing. This is the type of battery if someone's like, hey, my phone's dead, do you have a charger? I'd just be like, here you go. This guy's probably my favorite one. It's just a beast. 87 watts output, 100 watt input. It is great. I'll have links to this in the description below. I'll probably even include some links to other ones that I showed you, just in case you want to buy the 535 over this one, or any of the other ones. I will have links below. They will be affiliate links. Amazon will give me a little bit of that kickback every time someone makes a purchase using my link. That's a disclaimer. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Please subscribe if you have not done so already. This is What Would Josh Do? And I'm out.